crowd. Dublin and Mayo meet for a place in the All-Ireland final. It's a beautiful day. There's big focus and big attention on that young man, Aidan O'Shea. Mayo won the toss. They will attack Hill 16 in the first half. Joe McQuillan of Cavan is the referee. His linesman today, Conor Lane and Barry Cassidy. The sideline official is Fergal Barry. MDMA, Michael Darragh Macaulay, restored to the team alongside young Brian Fenton in his first championship season, his first All-Ireland semi-final. And Aidan O'Shea gone out to midfield for the start of this match alongside Tom Parsons. So Rory O'Carroll is picking up Cillian O'Connor. They say this could be a classic. It's written all over it. Off we go. Dublin against Mayo. Tom Parsons with possession. He had 33 possessions against Donegal, didn't kick it once. Here's Aidan O'Shea starting out at midfield. Colin Boyle. Seamus O'Shea. Gap opens up in front of Seamus O'Shea. David Drake is available in front of him, number 19. Seamus O'Shea still in possession. Kevin McLaughlin. A slip by Johnny Cooper. Dublin have plenty back. Mayo owning the ball in the first few seconds of this semi-final. Tom Parsons. Diarmuid O'Connor. Jack McCaffrey in front of him. O'Connor been forced wide. A little isolated, has helped though. Tom Parsons. Aidan O'Shea. There's a tussle off the ball, and now it's Lee Keegan who's forward again for the first point of the semi-final. Great period of possession. They held onto the ball for close to a minute, and Lee Keegan, as he did in the semi-final, popping the ball over the bar. Mayo by 1 point to no score.
And that's a great score by Lee Keegan, the third highest score for Mayo this year's championship, but showing his quality. Great start to the game. Dublin showing plenty back in defence on that occasion, but Lee Keegan carved out the space.
It was Kevin McLaughlin and Johnny Cooper who were hugging on the ground. Cooper goes back to Stephen Cluxton. Brian Fenton. Johnny Cooper. Paul Flynn. They say he's due a big game. Flynn blocked down by Colin Boyle. Here's Diarmuid Connolly, ran into Bernard Brogan. Mayo surround Diarmuid Connolly, looking for options. He's kicked that one straight into the chest of Robbie Hennelly. Scoring opportunity goes a-begging, never got hold of it, Diarmuid Connolly. And Connolly not letting Aidan O'Shea out easily. Donald Vaughan. Keane O'Sullivan sweeping back in behind Kevin McLaughlin. The ball has gone wide. Frantic start, Desi.
Yeah, interesting to note. Diarmuid Connolly has gone into the full forward line there, picking up Ger Cafferty. So it's the tactic Dublin have, keeping them in there. And what they're doing is when the numbers come back, he's going out to the half-forward line trying to pick up possession.
Look at Rory O'Carroll in trouble. We're not sure what exactly happened to the Dublin fullback.
I think himself and Cillian O'Connor might have had a little bump into each other, getting to know each other early.
Philly McMahon just having a word with the referee. Well, now 3 medics on to try and stop the flow of blood. That's Michael Fitzsimons should they need him. And I think they will, because Rory O'Carroll is being led off the field. So Michael Fitzsimons on as a blood sub. And Stephen Cluxton looking up the field. You can see by that gesture he's not at all happy with the options ahead of him. Johnny Cooper. has got another possession from a Cluxton kick out, and again they go back with it. And they found Brian Fenton very good in the air, and Fenton hit hard by Tom Parsons. Free Dublin. Philly McMahon letting it in long. Here's Paul Flynn, he's got it. Gets away from the cover. Flynn has broken inside. He was dragged back. Is that a penalty? Is it a penalty? Oh, yes, it is. He was caught just as he had tried to kick the ball, and Joe McQuillan was onto it like a flash. Dublin have a penalty. Watch.
Great catch there by Paul Flynn, taking it on his man. It was David Drake back there. Didn't look comfortable, and it looked like a definite penalty. Good call by Joe McQuillan.
So, Dermot Connolly. He scored one penalty in Championship 2015. Make that two. Really good finish. Hennelly went the right way.
Great finish by Dermot Connolly. A very composed player. He was delighted with that. Great start.
Huge kick from Hennelly. That's one of his serious strengths, but it's won cleanly in the air by Brian Fenton. Keane O'Sullivan, Jack McCaffrey, David Drake in front of it. Dermot O'Connor trying to get back to close down the space. McCaffrey is still going. Kieran Kilkenny was fouled by Tom Parsons.
Two massive hits there, Dara.
Is there a card coming?
Well, Donald Vaughan has gone down with a heavy knock on the shoulder. It looks like he could have done an AC joint just like that. He went down straight away, but then Tom Parsons went in very heavy. Two big tackles there.
What colour is the card? It's a yellow for Tom Parsons. There it is again.
Yeah, you can see it there, running through. Great pace, Jack McCaffrey, but it was full-on tackle by Donald Vaughan there. And he's getting medical treatment. He still looks a bit injured on that occasion.
So from just outside the 45-metre line, Dean Rock will take the free. Didn't catch it, and that's not a good start for a free taker. Wasn't a good contact.
Poor kick there, and people might question his role. Like, he's a great free taker, but he just needs a bit more from play. He scored a goal in 52 in the league, but certainly he'd be expected to get shots like that.
Chris Barrett taking the possession from the kick out, but it's been lost, and another foul against the Mayo cover. Here's Jack McCaffrey. Ridiculous pace, not a good hand pass though, and David Drake has it. Chris Barrett from Belmullet. Poor decision, and Mick Fitzsimons plays the 1-2 with Michael Darragh Macaulay. Rory O'Carroll is still off the field of play, receiving treatment to that wound above his eye. Kieran Kilkenny. It's been played at a frantic pace. Bernard Brogan. There were three Mayo men around him as that came in. Colin Boyle, one of them. Dermot O'Connor. Covers an average of 14 kilometres a game. It's an incredible statistic. Keith Higgins runs into trouble, has help from Ger Cafferty and Chris Barrett. Now Colin Boyle. Lee Keegan. Seamus O'Shea. They've worked hard to get to this area of the field, and Seamus O'Shea launches it in towards Aidan, who's gone in at full forward. Easy catch though for Stephen Cluxton, and he is fouled on the way out.
Yeah, Stephen gets it here. Aidan O'Shea straight in. It was a poor ball in from Shamey O'Shea. But Stephen and him get a bit tangled up there. A bit of a loose foot there by Stephen.
Mayo are thinking about a substitution already as Paul Flynn launches it long in towards Bernard Brogan. He's caught it. Brogan for Dublin. Barrett is there with him. Taddy Andrews, tricky angle. He's got his point.
Great play there by Bernard Brogan. Releases it. Paddy Andrews is a player I really rate. I wish he got more game time for Dublin, but he's a great finisher.
Well, it's a problem with Donal Vaughan, and he has gone off, and he's replaced by Patrick Durkin.
Yeah, you can see there he took a heavy knock on the shoulder. I'm not surprised with that. He ran into Jack McCaffrey early in the game and never recovered.
Well, that is a blow for Mayo, no question about it, with Donal Vaughan having to go off. Patrick Durkin, his third substitute appearance of the year. Mayo got the first point of the game in the opening minute.
A lot of heavy hits going in so far there. It's a cagey affair. Both teams playing very defensive.
David Drake. Kevin McLaughlin, Johnny Cooper in his face. Here's the first touch for Patrick Durkin. Diarmuid O'Connor. Tom Parsons does get to kick it, and it's in towards Cillian O'Connor, but it's a poor delivery. Second time they've launched it in long. It hasn't worked on either occasion, but they only need to get it to work once. Jack McCaffrey. Here goes James McCarthy. He's not exactly slow, is he? Angles the ball out to Dean Rock. Paddy Andrews. Jack McCaffrey. Now Brian Fenton to his right is Diarmuid Connolly. That's where he's gone. Connolly lines it up. He's got it. That is a corker of a score from Diarmuid Connolly. A goal and a point for the Vincent Span. 1-2-1 in the 12th minute.
Yeah, and all these counter-attacks are coming from poor kicked in by Mayo. Tactically, it's not working, but giving Diarmuid Connolly a shot from that angle, he'll kick them all day long. You can't give him that space.
Seamus O'Shea from Brafey. Keith Higgins. Tom Parsons. Jason Doherty. Lee Keegan. Scored Mayo's only point. Cillian O'Connor. Michael Fitzsimons with him. Cillian O'Connor goes himself. Couldn't get it past Stephen Cluxton, and the ball moved up the field very quickly. Diarmuid Connolly. Not easy to dispossess, but he's made a mistake. Here's Keith Higgins. Can Mayo capitalise on that error? Aidan O'Shea is there, but it's come back to Cian O'Sullivan. And O'Sullivan is fouled. Just tugged back by Aidan O'Shea. And they're moving again. Really good work by Diarmuid O'Connor, but same can be said for Michael Darragh McCauley. That's a Dublin free. It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Paddy Andrews out in front of David Drake. Bernard Brogan close to him. Brogan gets the shot away, but it's... Well, has it gone over? Looked like it was going to come short, but it just had enough legs. 1-3-1. Bernard Brogan opens his account.
And people might have been sure, but he was sure. 5-16 already in the championship, and that's what he does. Brilliant player, brilliant finisher. And Dublin very quick to get the restarts back in the game. Mayo are struggling to deal with it.
Here's David Drake. They could do with a score. Just to settle down again. They have got a free. And now in the 13th minute of the game, you can hear that moments and minutes applause in memory of the former Mayo minor star Darragh Doherty from Kilmaine, who famously wore number 13 in the All-Ireland minor final 2 years ago. Mayo have a free in.
And a definite free. Here you see it, Aidan O'Shea out in front of Philly McMahon. He's taken all that, but James McCarthy left the foot in there. A lot of stuff going on off the ball between himself and Philly McMahon. Referee having a word with Philly there.
Cillian O'Connor slots it over. It's their first score in 13 minutes.
You're seeing Stephen getting another kick out there. A lot of talk before the game about his kick outs. He's winning, he's getting all his kick outs out. So Mayo, they are letting him have the kick out, which is unusual. I taught myself to press up high on the kick outs.
Brian Fenton held up by Kevin McLaughlin, Michael Darragh McCauley, Johnny Cooper. James McCarthy. Back over again to Johnny Cooper. Paul Flynn. Off goes Colin Boyle. Tom Parsons. Dermot O'Connor. Nick Fitzsimons there with him. Advantage being played. Dermot O'Connor dropped it short, but they've got a free in, and Dermot O'Connor has gone down injured.
Yeah, and if there's one thing I'd say about Michael Fitzsimons, he has a tendency to foul. I've marked him on a couple of occasions myself, but Johnny Cooper came in there, you see it, and that's a heavy knock from Dermot O'Connor, and that'll hurt.
It did. Well, the referee, Joe McQuillan, has taken action against Johnny Cooper for that late challenge.
Johnny Cooper,
got a yellow card.
He's really up for the game today. He's been involved with a couple of scraps with Kevin McLaughlin off the ball, and he's not shy in coming in there either. Like, that was a heavy knock, and I'd be surprised if Dermot doesn't have a dead leg on that occasion.
Well, he's okay, Dermot O'Connor, and now it's Killian's turn from the place ball. Trying to draw it in. He's hit that beautifully. Gap closes. Again, that angled kick out. He's gone to that corner nearly every time, does he?
Yeah, it's a tactic. It's simple. He's no pressure. He's composed, and I'm just so surprised. You see Mayo have a man back, and that's the consequence now, giving Stephen free kick-outs. And when you do that, Dublin will counter-attack at pace.
And when the ball goes into motion and gets back to Cluxton, there's a different set of problems for Mayo to try and cover. Here comes another problem for them. Jack McCaffrey, Philly McMahon. Bernard Brogan is in, closest to goal, being marked by Chris Barrett. That is poor from Dublin, and it gives Mayo back possession, and Dermot O'Connor gets away from Michael Darragh McCauley very easily. has to go back for support. Aidan O'Shea still hanging around in midfield. Here comes David Drake. Drake is closed down but still has possession. 3-4 Dublin players close to him, and David Drake has fouled the ball.
Yeah, and that's
totally isolated.
Absolutely, no one up there supporting. There was 4 men around him. Aidan O'Shea has gone out the field looking for soft ball. Dublin have loads of men back, and they're struggling at the minute to just get the ball off the pitch.
Kieran Kilkenny. Paul Flynn. There's that angle ball they love into the chest of Paddy Andrews. Bernard Brogan makes a move towards him. Paddy Andrews looking for his second point, and you know what? He's got it.
Great score. And that all came from the angle pass from Kieran Kilkenny. A fabulous pass, and that's what splits open defences. But Mark and Keith Higgins, he turned him very easily, and he would get great. He'd be delighted with himself on that occasion, because taking on Keith, he's such a tough, tight defender. Great finish as well.
Colin Boyle of Davits. Lee Keegan from Westport. There's a gap there. And James McCarthy shut the door in his face, but he fouled it. McCarthy is not convinced that it was a free at all, and then there's some stuff afterwards. And for dissent, it's moved even closer to the Dublin goal. Oh, Cillian O'Connor was going to take that quickly. But there's all sorts of jostling and pushing and dragging going on off the ball.
It's real high-stakes stuff. You see it there. I haven't seen a referee change his mind so far. But James McCarthy was adamant he was dived on that occasion. But that's what they need. They need Lee Keegan driving up the pitch.
Cillian O'Connor, 3 successive frees. Brings it back to 3 again.
And that's it. You wouldn't say there was much in it. And an important one. But all these frees are bringing Mayo back. They're not playing that well, but certainly all these frees are bringing it back.
Again, Stephen Cluxton has a kick-out return to him. Paul Flynn able to get free. There goes that ball again. Bernard Brogan has got it. Brilliant take from Bernard Brogan. Barrett there with him. Kieran Kilkenny is through. Kieran Kilkenny takes his point. The goal was gaping in front of him. Decided to fist it over.
And again, Bernard Brogan in front of Ger Cafferty. Kieran Kilkenny splits the defence. He's been excellent this year. He's really come of age for Dublin. Got over all them cruciate injuries, but he's having a fine season so far.
Mayo, as you saw, favouring that short-angled kick out to at least secure possession. Now it's bombed in long towards Aidan O'Shea. He's got it. McCarthy there with him. Also Keane O'Sullivan, Philly McMahon. Is there a way through? Not legally anyway, and he held onto it too long.
That was unlucky. In fairness, there was 3 men. There was a lot of attack, a lot of pressure on him. You'd think the referee gave him an advantage, try to get free. It was fabulous play by him, but I thought he was unfortunate on that occasion.
He caught it well under serious pressure.
They will get joy.
Yep.
Philly McMahon is on him. Rory O'Carroll has gone off injured. They will get joy on that ball, but the ball has to be kicked in properly to Aidan O'Shea.
Philly McMahon and Aidan O'Shea, it's a height mismatch for a start. But McMahon, a very tight marker. Seamus O'Shea wins a free. David Drake of Mayo. Jason Doherty. Tom Parsons screaming for it, but they launch it in long towards Aidan O'Shea. Philly McMahon behind him. Cluxton comes to claim and just nudges the ball forward to Paddy Andrews, almost playing as a right cornerback. Dean Rock quickly back to Brian Fenton. Forced into the mistake, he held onto it too long, and now Lee Keegan has it for Mayo, and he's fouled. Lost count of the frees. Well, very stop-start at times.
Yeah, we've talked about a classic before the game. Everyone talked it up as an open, expansive game of football, but you would have to say it's been stop-start, a lot of heavy tackles and a lot of niggly stuff and a lot of stuff going on off the ball.
Does sound like a classic. Aidan O'Shea. There were two Dublin players around him there. He's still got it. Hops off Michael Darragh Macaulay. And then foul. Free in Mayo. And for dissent again against Diarmuid Connolly, the ball has moved forward.
Yeah, you see Aidan O'Shea, there's no stopping him. You have to tackle him when he saw one. He did catch his hand. If he did catch his hand, that's a free. It was a soft free. But Philly McMahon is a mismatch on Aidan O'Shea. Really is. You'd expect a change there because since Philly has gone on to him, Aidan O'Shea has come more and more into this game.
Well, there's 4 points between the team. Mayo's last 3 scores have all been from frees. They've all been converted by Cillian O'Connor, and he'll fancy this one as well. But that indiscipline from the Dublin defenders is keeping Mayo in touch. At
this level, you wouldn't expect it. I presume Jim Gavin is telling his players, keep it disciplined. That was a tricky free, 40, 45 yards out. Brought it very simple for a man of Cillian O'Connor's standard.
Both teams have conceded 9 frees each. And the free count, which was very heavily against Dublin, in the quarter-final, was commented on a lot by Jim Gavin afterwards. Patrick Durkin. And here come Mayo. They're growing in confidence. There they go long again. This time it's towards, well, Cillian O'Connor was in close with Aidan O'Shea. How did he manage to win the ball there, Aidan O'Shea? And now it's Cillian O'Connor for Mayo. From a difficult angle, dispossessed by Michael Fitzsimons. That was perfectly timed, just as O'Connor was about to pull the trigger.
Brilliant tackle there for Michael Fitzsimons. At a crucial stage, you would expect a certain score, and it was a brilliant, clean tackle. Great defending.
At the moment, there's no sign of Rory O'Carroll coming back in. Dennis Bastick is warming up for Dublin at the moment. Along with Kevin McManaman. Here's James McCarthy. Diarmuid Connolly's penalty, their first score of this match in the 5th minute. The difference between the teams. Michael Darragh Macaulay. Brian Fenton. Just out of picture, Colin Boyle dropping back in front of Bernard Brogan. Is he going to be close enough? Robbie Hennelly out. And it took an unusual bounce, but Colin Boyle able to snuff out the danger, but he's challenged by Diarmuid Connolly. Referee says it was a foul, though. Free out.
And Mayo are doing extremely well, getting the numbers back. Dublin are finding it hard to break down in front of that 45-yard line. On a couple of occasions, the long ball has worked, but certainly Colin Boyle has been effective on front of that full-back line.
Lee Keegan. Not great from Seamus O'Shea. Kieran Kilkenny running into space. In front of him is Patrick Durkin of Mayo. Kilkenny will have to do it himself. And that kind of responsibility doesn't bother him at all. He's been really good.
Great finish by Kieran Kilkenny. I mentioned one-on-one, Colin Boyle didn't get over on that occasion. Diarmuid O'Connor was trying to get back, but when you leave someone one-on-one at this level, you would expect him to take him on and to finish, and that's exactly what he's doing all season long.
Had to take it on himself because Connolly and Rock had both drifted out the field, and Bernard Brogan as well. So 4 points between them again. Mayo scoring just 1 point from play, and they're not going to add to that tally anytime soon with passes like that. Second one in quick succession going astray from Seamus O'Shea, but perhaps they can make something from this. Here's Aidan O'Shea. Jason Doherty. Cillian O'Connor in closest to the Dublin goal. Jason Doherty isolated, over-carried the ball again. They've done that several times in the match. Players getting isolated, too many Dublin defenders around. And it leads to the inevitable free out.
And that's something they're going to have to look at half-time. They're getting caught in possession up front. Dublin have 3 or 4 men back. It's very simple. But Mayo kicking 2 long balls away. It's all too simple right now for Dublin.
Furthest Cian O'Sullivan has been up the field all afternoon, and he's fouled. Kieran Kilkenny hoisting that in the air from Michael Dara McCauley. Colin Boyle sweeps across in front of him. Bernard Brogan. Brogan hardly had time to look at the post. Well, it's gone wide. That's their 2nd wide. Mayo have only kicked 1. Mick Deegan and Jim Gavin. Cillian O'Connor. Here's Keith Higgins. Aidan O'Shea back in at full forward. Beautiful ball. He's got it, Aidan O'Shea. Is there a foul on Aidan O'Shea? Well, he's isolated. He's on the ground, and the referee's going to give the free out.
That's a big call, Darren. That is a massive call. Initially, I thought there was a little pull there on Philly McMahon when the first got it. You see it here. Hand over the shoulder. Kind of went down. It's a tough call for the referee. He's such a powerful man. He's hard to stop.
But he caught another one. He didn't get the penalty.
Yeah, initially it was when the first contact got made, I thought it could have been a penalty.
Seen them given, as they say. But as the half has gone on, that high ball into the full forward line is working more. That's a jersey pull clearly by Cian O'Sullivan on Dermot O'Connor. Another free in coming. And Cian O'Sullivan will have to have a chat with the referee for this.
He knew what he was doing. We've seen something similar with Mark O'Shea last week. That was as they say, a professional foul. He pulled the jersey back. He was inside his line. Very similar to what we've seen from Mark O'Shea. So it will be interesting to see what happens.
There's no conversation with the referee.
And then you wonder, Dara, why people get frustrated.
Cillian O'Connor again for his and Mayo's 5th successive point. Another one gone over. They've scored just 1 from play.
And all these frees are keeping them in the game, and it's not as if they're playing exceptionally well, but Aidan O'Shea is getting into the game a bit more. And Dublin have been sloppy at times getting that ball in. Colin Boyle has been effective, but you wouldn't say it's been a classic. Here we go again, another short kick out.
Breaks down. David Drake. Patrick Durkin. Dermot O'Connor for their 2nd from play. Wide though. Did open up for him.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that. It was an opportunity, and you see Mayo getting a bit of joy. They're tackling extremely well on the 45. Donny Buckley does an awful lot of work and turning over the ball and dispossessions, and they're doing that well. But unfortunately, Jamer kicked the wide in that occasion.
And Michael Fitzsimons having to go back, as they've done many a time. It's a different kick-out strategy. We thought there was something in the air in the build-up to the game, and
yeah, everything has been so easy for Stephen Cluxon. He hasn't to think about a kick-out today. Everything going short, and I suppose it's very easy for him, and it's teeing up the defenders, the wings backs, to get on possession.
And here they are attacking with Paddy Andrews and now Jack McCaffrey. Michael Dara McCauley, that green and red wall in front of him. Kieran Kilkenny has space to get the shot away. And he's done just that, and he's had a really excellent game.
Yeah,
He's got their last 3, Desi.
But we've talked about it. You're inviting the likes of Jack McCaffrey up the pitch, and Kieran Kilkenny has been excellent. He's got them with the right, he's fisted them over the bar, and now he's got it on the left. He has it all. He's an exceptional footballer.
Well, we're told there'll be 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. It's a foul by Bernard Brogan.
He took a heavy enough knock there. See it there.
On Chris Barrett.
It's kind of subdued at times there. It's a bit of a lull. You wouldn't say the crowd are going wild here with the atmosphere. A lot of the times it's been slow, it's been stop start, there's been a lot of frees, it's been defensive. Certainly not the classic just at the minute.
Well, neither manager, neither team will care if they win. And if they're back here next month playing Kerry. Colin Boyle. Brian Fenton there, and Boyle trying to do a Lee Keegan on it, but he didn't succeed.
It's the slow build-up again there.
Yep.
Mayo retreated, lots of men back. You see Colin Boyle orchestrating, lads. Diarmuid O'Connor is back. And Dublin slow to get up the pitch on this occasion.
Well, just hanging on to it, and Mayo players now having to come forward to try and put pressure on their Dublin opponents. Michael Fitzsimons, Keane O'Sullivan. Keep ball. Paddy Andrews. Off goes Paul Flynn. In long towards Bernard Brogan, Robbie Hennelly. Now there seemed to be a slight mix-up there, but Hennelly was always in charge. It was Chris Barrett who got in his way. Diarmuid O'Connor. Can Mayo tack on a point before the end of the half? They have 15 seconds to do it. Here's Tom Parsons. Parsons launches it in towards Cillian O'Connor. Michael Fitzsimons got a touch. Free in.
Yeah, James McCarthy there again. Very disappointed with that. And that all came from a really poor ball from Paul Flynn. Kicked it 60 or 70 yards in. Loads of men back. Picking up the yellow for the second foul there. Careless. At this level, you don't concede frees. I'm sure they've talked about the influence Cillian O'Connor can have on any match, but he's kicked a lot of very simple scores.
Well, he's kicked 5 of them. And they're keeping Mayo nicely in touch for the perfect 6. And that is what he's got, Cillian O'Connor. And there is the whistle for the end of the first half. Cillian O'Connor's frees, keeping Mayo up there with Dublin. They've lost Donal Vaughan with a shoulder injury. Dermot Connolly's penalty was Dublin's first score of the game. Aidan O'Shea has caught a few. He's got a little bit of joy out of the Dublin cover towards the end of the half. But they've scored Mayo just once from play. It's been tight, it's been tense, it's been extremely tactical, and it's set up very nicely for the second half. At the break, Dublin lead Mayo by 1-7 to 7 points. Analysis from Michael and his panel after the break.
Yeah, I think people are expecting this epic match, and so far it hasn't delivered. Only, I'd say, no Mayo forward has scored yet. Dublin have been sloppy at times, but the managers will be delighted. Get in, get talking to their players, sort out their tactics for the second half and go at it.
Well, that was overhit for Dermot Connolly. So, it trickles out. Robbie Hennelly forced to kick it long and kicked it to Michael Darragh-McCauley. There was no Mayo man very near him as he caught that, but Tom Parsons is certainly near him now. And he was impeded, I think, as he tried to take that free, Tom Parsons.
He'd be happy enough with that, Darragh. It was a fairly bad kick in.
Kevin McLaughlin. Aidan O'Shea's gone into full forward. Cillian O'Connor there beside him. The scorer of 6 frees in the first half. Here comes Keith Higgins. Higgins turning back into trouble. Jason Doherty in a better position, gets his shot away, Jason Doherty, and that is not his best effort. It's gone out for wide number 3.
Yeah, great run there by Keith Higgins. I marked him in one of his first games. I thought he's a little small lad, probably won't make it. 2 All-Stars later, and one of the best players in the country.
Tricky one for Kevin McManaman. He's not able to deal with it. Colin Boyle is. Jack McCaffrey and Dermot Connolly there with him. Mayo free. And Dermot O'Connor is free. Here come Mayo. Referee spots a foul by Philly McMahon in on the 20-metre line on Aidan O'Shea. Joe McQuillan spotted this off the ball. Philly McMahon's not happy. Watch.
Yeah, very correct decision, but you can see it here. He's grabbing him, he's holding him. And we discussed this. Cillian O'Connor's got 6 points in the first half. Dublin need to stop coughing up these frees because this is bread and butter stuff for Cillian O'Connor. He doesn't miss these frees.
But this is another gift. He has been flawless, but a lot of them have been in those positions where you would expect a free taker of his quality to slot over, and he's done that. But yeah, the frees they're giving, these are presents, keeping Mayo in the game.
And I was talking to Michael Conroy, the player, he's on the Mayo panel, but did a really bad job on his shoulder. But he was saying Dublin are giving them awful easy frees. Mayo are playing really poorly, and all these frees are keeping them in the game.
And it's now just a 2-point game. Jason Doherty. Dermot O'Connor. Here's David Drake. Dermot O'Connor in a better position, trying to draw it in. Oh yes, that is a stunning point from Dermot O'Connor. He dropped one short during the first half, but that is real quality.
And the first score for a forward for Mayo today, but what a score, outside of the boot. That's a dream of a shot. He'd be delighted with that.
Apart from Lee Keegan, the O'Connors doing the business for Mayo. Tom Parsons, they're just one behind. Now Patrick Durkin. Jason Doherty from 44 metres wide. One half of the Mayo management duo. Pat Holmes in the centre of your picture. Well, there's nothing wrong with that kick out. This is something we thought they were going to do beforehand. Nothing wrong with it.
You can go inside the 20-metre line once the ball has been kicked and travels 13 metres.
And that's exactly what happened. You could see players around, and you heard some of the supporters claiming a free. Now it's Paddy Andrews. Lee Keegan slips. Andrews scored 2 points during the first half. Kevin McManaman, here he goes. McManaman gets away from Keegan, he's through. Kevin McManaman over for a point. Kevin McManaman, he does that so well.
He really is an impact player. He's a brilliant player to bring in off the bench. I know he mightn't like it, but he really, when he runs at his man, he's so difficult to stop. Low centre of gravity, very difficult, and a great score.
He started a lot of games this year. Robbie Hennelly's kick-out is won by Dublin. They're forcing him to kick long. Dermot Connolly pinging that in towards Bernard Brogan. He was tightly marked by Chris Barrett, who touched it last. It's still in play. Dermot O'Connor. He'll certainly be up around the 14-kilometre mark for ground covered over the course of these 70-odd minutes. Jason Doherty, Kevin McLaughlin. Doherty gets it back again, then runs into traffic. Nobody coming over to try and support him. There's plenty of Dublin players there. There was help from Kevin McLaughlin. Now it's Seamus O'Shea. Connolly shielding the ball, and then there's an incident on the ground with Dermot O'Connor, and the referee getting very close to it.
It's high stakes. A lot of ball is touching on the ground a couple of occasions.
Here it is again.
Yeah, touches his hand there. He's lucky to get away with it, and the referee gives him a free for that one. But just before he went to pick it up, I thought Jack just touched the ball on the ground.
That's Johnny Cooper, who felt the full force. There have been some big hits in this match. Dublin getting ready to make a change. I think it's going to be a defender. I think it's going to be John Small. Or perhaps that was as a precaution, should Johnny Cooper not have been able to continue. But look, we'll see.
See the great Andy Moran warming up, and he makes an impact every time he comes in.
He has the tracksuit top off. Andy Moran is getting ready to come in for Mayo. John Small will be in soon for Dublin. A Mayo man down on the ground, and the referee has called a halt to the play.
Yeah, it's Cian O'Sullivan off the ball. And this is where it comes back. In the first half, he got away with one. It's a lucky man today.
So Cian O'Sullivan goes in the book.
Shanghai.
John Small is in for Johnny Cooper. Johnny Cooper hasn't left the field of play now. He is going off. Oh, Aidan O'Shea almost had too much time to think about that. It was a poor free. Tall Flynn. Now Flynn launches it up, and Chris Barrett is there in front of Bernard Brogan. Colin Boyle. Tom Parsons. Parsons hanging on to it and fouled again.
I think it was a good call. Michael Darragh, in fairness to him, he tackles hard, but he's just holding on to him a small bit there and give the free. It's a difficult kick for Cillian O'Connor, but Mayo are getting on plenty of possession. Dublin are struggling at the minute to get the ball up to their forward line. Haven't seen a whole pile of Bernard Brogan, but this man will certainly be a great outlet and a great option to get a score.
David Drake off, one of the biggest cheers of the day for Andy Moran coming in for Mayo. And it's Cillian O'Connor time. He's kicked 7. This is tricky. O'Connor. Same result. Just one between them.
He really is a quality player. He's I sometimes feel he doesn't get the credit he deserves. Maybe he's so good at the frees, but at the same time I think he's an all-round. He's a really, really quality footballer.
Same routine from the kick out.
I played with Stephen Cluxton in a Railway Cup match. We won 28 out of 29 kickouts, but I think today Dublin are going to get a clean sweep, which I never thought would happen.
They're not travelling very far though. Here's Jack McCaffrey. It's Kevin McLaughlin behind him. Dragged back free in Dublin. And they're calling for Stephen Cluxton to come forward. Dean Rock not on the field of play anymore. And this is in Cluxton territory. Here's why the free was given.
Yeah, just left that arm in a small bit too long. And Kevin McLaughlin, Mayo pride themselves on their good tackling, but just left that arm in a second too long. But a big kick and a big opportunity for Dublin. They need to get a score. They're struggling up front, I think, at times, not getting the ball enough into Bernard Brogan.
The same at various periods of the first half. There's no real flow to the game. Stephen Cluxton was okay for distance, but not for accuracy. Wide number 4. Still a point between them.
And the Mayo supporters are loving that. They're up on their feet.
Lee Keegan. Aidan O'Shea still been marked by Philly McMahon. It ran away from O'Shea, and McMahon gets possession. Brian Fenton. Off goes Keane O'Sullivan. James McCarthy. Launched in long. Kevin McManaman in there with Bernard Brogan. Hennelly fisted it out. It's come to Kieran Kilkenny. 3 points he got in the first half. That's extremely high. And the decision of the umpire is wide.
Jim Gavin's looking a bit edgy there. He knows his importance. These are opportunities that Dublin need to get. It's not free-flowing. It's not the Dublin we expect, the real stylish attacking football you'd say today. It's been very stop-start, and they really are struggling to get scores on the board.
Jason Doherty picked out by Robbie Hennelly. Aidan O'Shea back in at full forward. Cillian O'Connor further out. Kevin McLaughlin helping. Tom Parsons. Kevin McLaughlin again. McLaughlin off his right. It's miles away.
It's fair to say he likes his left foot more than his right foot, but at this level you'd expect it was a free shot. It was 30 yards out. Even though he's back foot, you'd expect to get it.
Can you remember one long kick out from Stephen Cluxton, one out to the middle?
No, not all day. I'd say he's 100% on the kickouts for his own kickouts today, which is an incredible stat.
John Small. Keane O'Sullivan. Small again. Michael Darragh Macaulay. Ran straight into Seamus O'Shea. Possession has been lost. The referee, though, has blown his whistle. Going to give Mayo a free, and he's going to take action against Michael Darragh Macaulay.
And that's the question. They're getting to the 45-yard line. After that, there's nothing happening.
Black card.
Yeah, Keith Higgins snuck in there. He got the ball.
Black card against Michael Darragh Macaulay. His afternoon comes to a premature end in the 15th minute of the second half.
That's it. Basketball turn, what he's good at, and he just holds it. It's a hard black card. People, supporters, everyone's getting frustrated with this thing. Very tough. When you see Keane O'Sullivan's earlier in the match, you'd wonder what the rules are.
His replacement will be Dennis Bastick. Dublin lead by a point. Here come Mayo. Lee Keegan. Chris Barrett. There's a bit of a gap. Barrett blocked down by Jack McCaffrey. Now it's Andy Moran. Lee Keegan again. Diarmuid O'Connor turns back inside. Diarmuid O'Connor from Mayo. No. Furious with himself. Dennis Bastick now onto the field of play.
And it's there for whoever wants it, Darragh. Dublin have got 1 point in 15 minutes in the second half. Michael Darragh's after getting the black card. Mayo had lots of opportunities to kick wide. It's like no one wants to win it at the minute.
There's the long kick out, and the referee spotted a push against Dennis Bastick. Mayo outscoring Dublin by 3 points to 1 since the match restarted. Andy Moran, bad wide.
And that's what I said. Who wants to win this game? Andy Moran, he's prolific when he comes on. Generally, he never misses, and I suppose there's pressure on all these kicks at that stage. This stage.
Paddy Andrews is fouled by Ger Cafferty.
Another opportunity for Stephen Cluxton.
Yeah, he's on the move, heading up to take the free. No, they've decided against bringing him forward.
Pulls rank. Fancies it on the left foot. Some talent to be able to do it left foot or right foot.
He's going to go with the right, looking at the way he's shaping up to this.
Stephen doesn't know whether to go back or not. He's halfway up the pitch. It's like as if everyone's calling him.
He's still moving forward. Dermot Connolly off the outside of the right boot.
No need to worry there, Dara. But he backs himself every time. A sublime striker, the ball.
Tom Parsons. Fair bit of pressure on him. It's 2 between them. Certainly can't take your eyes off it, but it's been strange at times, this match. Here's Seamus O'Shea. Chipped into Andy Moran, who's out in front of Michael Fitzsimons, and Moran has fluffed another one.
Done all the hard work there. Michael Fitzsimons beside him, and it was a great opportunity. That's 2 for Andy Moran.
And that ball was flipped up the field by Stephen Cluxton to Dermot Connolly. Will Dublin get more offensive now? Kieran Kilkenny. Dragged back, free to Dublin.
Yeah, Colin Boyle's a tough tackler, hands in. No, hand in, hand out, generally pretty good. He's a tough cookie, but he'd be disappointed to give a free okay on that occasion.
Now it is going to be Stephen Cluxton to take this free. It would be a huge ask for Connolly to repeat the dose from even further out on his so-called weaker side, but he dealt with that pretty well just a couple of minutes ago. We're inside the final quarter. Alan Brogan will be in shortly for Dublin. Stephen Cluxton wide. They've had 6 of them, and there's a lot of tense Dublin faces around Croke Park. Cian O'Sullivan had his hand on the back of Kevin McLaughlin, so it's a Mayo free.
Certainly a soft free, but definitely a free. Just touched him very slightly on the back. And Dublin have got 2 scores, all frees in the second half.
Alan Brogan replaces Paddy Andrews. These two have had some very high-scoring meetings in recent times. League, Championship, there's never much between them in the Championship. Now, who's it going to be? Will it be Dublin or will it be Mayo to play Kerry in the All-Ireland final next month? Brian Fenton putting pressure on his own defence. Here come Mayo, Diarmuid O'Connor. They trail by 2 points. Aidan O'Shea. Fitzsimons there with him. O'Shea taking them all on. Couldn't hang on to it, and then he collides with Philly McMahon. Dermot Connolly goes forward, and Philly McMahon has gone down injured, and the referee calls a halt. What exactly happened with Aidan O'Shea and Philly McMahon?
Yeah.
Here it is.
It's not a whole pile in it, just coming together. Aidan was frustrated. He had the ball, he was looking for a free, didn't win it. He was trying to get through onto tackle Diarmuid. It's just a collision, I think. right under the nose of the linesman, so you'd expect him to deal with it fairly convincingly.
Let's have another look at this.
Yeah, Philly was in his line. German had the ball. He was trying to get through to him. You wouldn't say it was an all-out strike or anything like that.
No. I think that's the decision of the officials as well.
In fairness, Aidan was frustrated. He had the ball. He held on to too long. He should have got rid of it before all the pressure came on. The crowd aren't happy anyway.
Yeah, we need a ball to restart the match.
And that's it. Mayo need a score, crucial. They had great opportunities there and missed a lot of them. Andy Moore and Jeremy O'Connor, and all vital opportunities missed. They need to settle down and get a score quickly.
It's a long time since Mayo last scored. Almost 12 minutes. Here's Jack McCaffrey. Dublin got the last score in the match. McCaffrey, they could be in for a goal here. Brian Fenton saved by Robbie Hennelly. Crucial second. It's in the back of the net. It's in the back of the net. Is it Kevin McManaman again? It would appear to be. Hennelly had kept it out, but then it squirted loose, and Dublin have a goal.
A massive score and great ball in there. Great save by Rob Hennelly, but it squeezed out right to Kevin McManaman. He is the poacher. He is the man at the right place at the right time. Inspirational substitution by Jim Gavin.
Well, that is what Kevin McManaman does and has done many, many times. Think 2011, think 2013 against Kerry, and here he comes on again as the substitute and gets what could be the crucial goal. There's still plenty of time for Mayo, but Dublin now lead by 5. Tomas Brady is on for Brian Fenton on the Dublin team. That's gone out for a 45. Cillian O'Connor keen to take it. He has kicked 8 frees. Their forwards have struggled to make an impact on the Dublin defence, but Cillian O'Connor has done all he can to keep Mayo in touch. Dublin by 5. It could be Dublin by 4 in a few seconds.
It's all about the forwards there. And like the problem today is Mayo have only got 1 point from their forward, Jeremy O'Connor, and that's been the real issue. Cillian has been seriously impressive on his free taking, but their creativity up front has been lacking at times for Mayo.
He's kept them in it. From the 45, it's badly needed, and it goes over. 9 frees, 9 place balls converted by Ballintubber's Cillian O'Connor.
He's given an exhibition in kicking, and in fairness, he got a couple of easy ones in the first half. It built up his confidence, but his kicking today has been exceptional.
They need a goal. Kevin McManaman, off he goes. Diarmuid O'Connor tracking him. Paul Flynn offers some assistance. Now Bernard Brogan, he's got away from Chris Barrett. Runners appearing off his shoulder, and Bernard Brogan does his stuff. Kept it himself. When the chance came, he was able to pop it over the bar, and that 5-point gap is restored. Kevin McManaman. Keith Higgins there. Alan Brogan. Oh, that is some score. He's only on the field a couple of minutes, but that is as good as you're going to see. Very difficult angle. Yeah. Alan Brogan special.
That's why the Brogan family are renowned in Dublin with a savage reputation. But like you see Bernard on the left foot, 5-16 before today's game, and Alan coming up with the big scores at vital times.
He doesn't have a great record in All-Ireland semi-finals, Alan Brogan. The Donegal game, a huge motivating factor for them coming in here Mayo don't need any more motivating factors. But they're 6 points down, and is it slipping away from them? Here's Jack McCaffrey. Mayo's defence is just shut down, and Dublin now scoring for fun, having found it so hard in the opening 20 minutes of this second half.
So hard to nail him down. Jack McCaffrey, his engine, his power, his pace. A brilliant player, having a brilliant season for Dublin.
Alan Freeman in for Jason Doherty on the Mayo team. There is Alan Freeman.
And it all came from Dennis Bastick around midfield. A brilliant catch. He's just one of them players. He doesn't get the headlines. He goes about his business quietly, efficiently, but he's been really good in midfield today.
They're starting to celebrate, the Dublin supporters here. Chris Barrett of Mayo. Colin Boyle. Tom Parsons. They need a couple of goals. Andy Moore. And they'll take a point right here. Chance presents itself and over it goes. 6 points is the Dublin advantage.
He really is an inspirational player, Andy Moore, and he had 2 previous opportunities, missed them. An important score.
3 points off their total now coming from play. That's belted along by Stephen Cluxton and secured after a fashion. Dennis Bastick was there first, now James McCarthy. Paul Flynn was in space ahead of him, and Flynn is now unmarked, and Philly McMahon has seen him. Again, the Mayo defence just shut off, and Paul Flynn keeps the ball in play. Flynn having a go himself, but lashed it wide. May not matter at this stage of the match.
A bit careless, and the boys mentioned in the studio he's not having his best season, 4 All-Stars in a row. But again, Dennis Bastick in midfield winning primary possession, so important. Philly quick free, setting up Paul, but poor play there.
Lee Keegan. Aidan O'Shea. Now Keith Higgins, and Higgins does his stuff in front of the post. They're still plugging away.
Yeah, and these are leaders, Andy Moore and Keith Higgins. Such an inspirational player, Keith Higgins, a forward or a back. A brilliant servant to Mayo football.
Now for the goal they need.
And there's a man, Barry Moore, and we haven't seen him. Like, maybe at this stage, throw him into the full forward line. They need a goal.
He's out warming up at the moment. No time like the present, and time is Mayo's enemy at the moment. Stephen Cluxton, the mistake. They could be in bother here. Andy Moore! It's come off the post. It was John Small who got back onto the line. Was that the moment for Mayo? A huge error from Stephen Cluxton. And John Small, the Dublin substitute, got back on the line to deny Andy Moore. Mayo are desperate for a goal. Here they come again. Aidan O'Shea hanging on to it a long time. Now it's Kevin McLaughlin. 5 points separate the 2 counties. Free in Mayo. They need to get on with this very quickly. They're desperate for a goal, and they were so close. This is how close.
Stephen Cluxton straight to Andy Moore. And what an opportunity.
Here's O'Connor, and O'Connor has lashed it wide. Well, they took it quickly. It took everybody by surprise. But here's this previous goal chance. Catch our breath.
And that has to be a goal, you'd imagine, at this stage. Andy Moore and got it. Stephen Cluxton's clearance, but Andy backed himself a man inside. Great play there by John Small, I think it was. On the line, off the post. Brilliant recovery.
Well, Stephen Cluxton got a touch on that as well. It was an even better save from John Small. Now Barry Moran is on for Seamus O'Shea. They've got to throw the kitchen sink, the whole lot, at Dublin now, trailing by 5 points. Stephen Cluxton kicks it long again. It's claimed by Barry Moran, his first action in the game. Now, what's the referee going to do? The notebook is out. Moran is livid. Dennis Bastick is the player being spoken to. Well, it's a black card for Dennis Bastick.
Mayo started quickly.
Tom Parsons. Cluxton with a very powerful fist out, but still the danger not clear. It's back with Alan Freeman, and Alan Freeman slots it over. 3 in a row for Mayo.
You see Stephen there, he's not going to give away a goal, taking no chances, drives it back out. Good score by Allen, but the ball was kicked in long. They need to get it in long, in around the box, and see what happens.
Dennis Bastick off.
You can see it there, a bit of it on the ground, a bit of a trip.
Jack McCaffrey. Stephen Cluxton went short with the kick out that time. Here's John Small. Mayo trailing by 4. Last 3 minutes. Eric Lowndes is going to come in to replace Dennis Bastick. Diarmuid Connolly, last 3 minutes. They were cruising not so long ago. Barry Moran. Colin Boyle. Diarmuid O'Connor. This is promising. Here's Kevin McLaughlin. Cillian O'Connor. They've got to go for it. All or nothing now for Mayo. Colin Boyle is in there. Boyle goes down. Is it a penalty? Is it a penalty? It is a Mayo penalty.
That's a big call, Dara.
Huge call.
Initially, here it is. Gets the ball. Not a whole pile of contact. Tough call. At such an important stage. Very well worked. That all came back. Keane O'Sullivan back the far end. Should have went down and picked up the ball. Alan Brogan had a chance to get it. They missed it, and it was a quick counter-attack.
Massive call by Joe McQuillan. Mayo have a lifeline in the final 2 minutes. 4 between them. Cillian O'Connor, who's kicked those 9 frees, now has to beat Stephen Cluxton in the Dublin goal to bring them back to within 1.
He's on fire today, Cillian O'Connor. Crucial kick at this stage.
The tension around this. Cillian O'Connor from Ballintubber. He's kept Mayo in this match. He's got to do it all over again from the penalty spot. Cillian O'Connor, a goal! They're just 1 behind.
And the Mayo supporters believe now, Dara. They had no luck for years, and this is the opportunity. There still is time. There will be injury time.
They would take a draw off you right now, I'm sure. Last minute of the 70, and Cluxton has kicked the ball straight to Mayo. Here they come. Aidan O'Shea. Cillian O'Connor again. It's back to Andy Moran. Over. They are level. Unbelievable. Mayo's leader on and off the field has brought them level. And is there more in Mayo? They have come back from the dead. It's all square.
All coming from a bad kick out from Stephen Cluxton, straight to Kevin McLaughlin. Great composure by Aidan O'Shea. Straight out, and who would you want at the end of the ball? At a crucial time, only Andy Moran.
And where is Stephen Cluxton going to put the next kick out? They haven't scored in 9 minutes. Mayo have brought Mickey Sweeney in for Diarmuid O'Connor. The next possession in this game, absolutely vital. Dublin at one stage were leading by 7. Look at it now.
And they're struggling at midfield. Dennis Bastick has gone off. Keane O'Sullivan has gone out to midfield. But Mayo have Andy Moran.
And Michael Darragh Macaulay gone as well. Here they come. Aidan O'Shea. And now Alan Freeman. Philly McMahon put everything on the line to make the challenge. Aidan O'Shea has it. Remember their comeback in 2006, Mayo. The Kieran MacDonald show. Here's Mickey Sweeney. Sweeney blocked down. Aidan O'Shea there. And now Alan Brogan. This is a remarkable second half. 5 minutes of additional time. Lord knows what could happen in that 5 minutes. Just reflect on what's happened in the last 5.
And Mickey Sweeney, what an opportunity. He needed to show a bit more composure, take his time, men around him, don't get blocked down.
Jack McCaffrey has, I think, got a foul.
5 minutes injury time. It's a big... There's going to be lots of action between now and then.
Dublin haven't scored in, well, it's now 10 minutes. And listen to the Mayo supporters. A few minutes ago they were thinking about the journey home, but there's still a lot of football to be played. That was touched on the ground by Kevin McManaman. It's a Mayo free. The momentum is all Mayo now.
It's come to life. Great play by Colin Boyle, good tight, and then Keith Higgins in to sweep up.
Tom Parsons. Dublin just look at, well, they feel vulnerable every time Mayo come forward. Philly McMahon, Aidan O'Shea is claiming that he was fouled. The referee not having any of it. I met somebody beforehand who was talking about the draw. Didn't they draw in 1985? They drew in 1955 as well. There's a tangle off the ball. The referee is playing an advantage to Dublin at the moment, and he's going to give a free in. He's given a free in to Dublin.
Yeah, it's a long time. There was a lot of advantage.
And Stephen Cluxton is, I think, heading forward.
I think it was Patrick Durkin went in there, a rash tackle. And we've seen a small bit of inexperience by this Paddy Durkin on that occasion.
Yeah, Stephen Cluxton now, there's a spring in his step. Wasn't that the official scene, by the way? There was a tangle on the ground involving Dermot Connolly and Lee Keegan, which the linesman was watching. It's on the right of your picture. And you could just got a glimpse of it there. And all the while this is going on, Stephen Cluxton is sizing up this opportunity from the free.
Yeah, and Stephen has missed 2 of these in the second half there. He's done it before. We've seen him do an All-Ireland final under extreme pressure.
Similar sort of position as well from 4 years ago. So
you wouldn't back against them.
Yellow for Lee Keegan and a red for Dermot Connolly. So a yellow for Keegan, but Connolly gone on a straight red card.
Yeah, that's a big call. 2 black cards, a red card. If Dublin can get this kick, they'll be delighted to get out of this one.
Well, we're in the last minute of the added time, and Stephen Cluxton has this free to put them a point up. Off it goes from Stephen Cluxton, and they're waving it wide, and it has gone wide. It's still a draw game. Celebrations from the Mayo supporters, but is there time for more action? Paul Flynn flew at that ball, but here comes Keith Higgins. 2 Dublin men down injured. Now Andy Moran, he tied it up. Ball runs loose now. Jack McCaffrey is dragged back, and it's a Dublin free. Will they take a draw right now? Well, the referee has called them back.
There's a head injury.
Alan Brogan, I think it is.
He's down. It's going to have to stop play.
Just can't keep up with it.
He's hurt.
He certainly is badly hurt.
It was a collision, yeah. 2 players from on the Rob Henley kick-out was won by Mayo, but 2 Dublin players collided. He had settled for a draw at this stage, and see these 2 teams go at it again.
Well, Alan Brogan,
he's hurt.
Yeah, he's certainly hurt and dazed. Yeah. The 5 minutes gone. Cian O'Sullivan goes back to Stephen Cluxton.
That's it.
There is the whistle, it's over. What an amazing last quarter of this game. Dublin had a 7-point lead, but Mayo dragged themselves back in. And in some style as well. Dublin didn't score for the last, 15 minutes of the game. Mayo hung on and hung on. Cillian O'Connor's penalty, it was a huge call, brilliantly converted by the Mayo forward. And then Andy Moran levelled it up. Stephen Cluxton could have won it with that free at the end, but it wasn't to be. Diarmuid Connolly's red card, black cards all around the place. The full-time score at the end of the second All-Ireland semi-final, just like last year. It's ended in a draw, 2-12 to Mayo's 1-15.